day my payslip finally showed I tipped into the 40% tax bracket, I wasn't popping champagne, I was just shocked. I'd worked my tail off for that pay rise, but looking at the numbers, it felt like a huge chunk of it had vanished into thin air before I even had a chance to say hello to my bank account. It's one of the most frustrating feelings, right? Getting penalised for earning more. That's what sent me down a rabbit hole looking for a way to legally hack the system. And in this video, I'm going to show you the simple two-step strategy I used to stop hemorrhaging cash to the taxman. This isn't some shady loophole for billionaires. It's a dead simple method anyone with a decent salary can use, playing by the exact rules the government set out. First, let's bust a common myth. Hitting the higher rate tax bracket doesn't mean your entire salary suddenly gets taxed at 40%. Phew. Here's how it actually works in the UK. You pay zero tax on the first £12,570 you earn. After that, you pay the 20% basic rate on the chunk of your salary up to £50,270. It's only the money you earn above £50,271 that gets hammered with that 40% higher rate. But, and this is the part that really stings, it gets worse. On those higher earnings, you also pay 2% in national insurance. So for every single pound you make over that threshold, you're actually losing 42 pence. That feeling of your pay rise disappearing, it's not a feeling, it's a mathematical reality. So how do you fight back? It all comes down to two brilliant and perfectly legal strategies. This was the first and honestly the most powerful move I made. It's called salary sacrifice, and it's a simple deal you make with your employer. You agree to sacrifice a part of your gross salary, and instead of paying it to you, your employer puts it straight into your pension pot before any tax is calculated. Let's make it real. Say you earn £60,000 a year. That means almost 10 grand of your income is sitting in that brutal 40% tax zone. But if you decide to sacrifice that $10,000 into your pension, your official taxable income instantly drops from $60,000 to $50,000. Just like that, you've yanked yourself out of the higher rate tax bracket. You've just saved £4,000 in income tax, which is 40% of the $10,000, and another £200 in national insurance, which is the 2% of the $10,000. So to get a whole $10,000 boost to your retirement savings, it only cost you £5,800 out of your pocket. That is a guaranteed immediate return on your money you just can't find anywhere else. It's the single best weapon you have for slashing your tax bill. Okay, so I was saving a ton of tax, which was great, but I had to make sure the money I was still taking home was working as hard as possible without creating a brand new tax headache down the road. That's where the ISA comes in. Think of an individual savings account or ISA as a tax-proof force field for your money. For the current tax year, you can stick up to £20,000 into your ISAs. Any interest you earned in a cash ISA or any profits and dividends you make in a stocks and shares ISA is completely invisible to the taxman forever. Why does this matter? Well, without an ISA, if your investments take off, you could get hit with a capital gains tax on your profits. And if you're a higher rate taxpayer with savings sitting outside of an ISA, you only get a tiny £500 personal savings allowance before you have to start paying 40% tax on your interest. The ISA just makes that entire problem go away. It's the perfect container to grow your wealth without ever looking over your shoulder for a future tax bill. So there you have it. The hack is a simple 1-2 punch. First, you use salary sacrifice to beef up your pension. This lowers your taxable income, pulling you out of that painful 40% bracket and giving you a massive tax back bonus in the process. Second, you wrap your other savings and investments in an ISA, creating a tax-proof shield where they can grow completely free. This isn't about being sneaky or finding loopholes. It's just about understanding the system and using the tools available to make sure you aren't paying a penny more in tax than you absolutely have to. You earned that money and you should get to decide where it goes. If you found this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on making your money work smarter, not harder. Now I want to know, which of these two strategies are you going to use first? Drop a comment below.